La la. I'm gonna cut that for sure. That was awful. No, but for real, this is an honor being on here. This really is. I'm gonna start reviewing music, I guess, from now on. I am going to review Blank Face LP by ScHoolboy Q. Just came out this year, not that long ago. You know, because it's all opinions and all that shit, and no one actually knows if things are good or not. They just kind of guess. Torch was my first one, and in this song, he starts off the album, I think it's the first song on the album, by kind of setting the tone for, you know, what he's going to talk about. And I'm going to give you basically the four things he talks about in this album. I don't know if he has enough memory, enough vocab to, you know, talk about anything else, or any experiences to talk about anything else. I'm not saying what he talks about is not worth talking about. I'm saying it's redundant as shit. And it's literally like he has a soundboard and he just clicks in the studio like, oh, let's talk about when I sold drugs that one time, or let's talk about the gang banging. See, like, these things, cool. I like to hear about them in an interesting way. Totally, anything at all, I'm on board. But when he's just kind of like, bro, I sold drugs. Get that through your skull. And then he's like, also, I got money now, so I don't have to sell drugs. Do you get what I'm putting down? Like, I don't know. It's like a cause and effect little thing that he does, and it's not very smart. But he kind of does that in this first one. It's very, in this one though, I'm gonna say this. In the first one, how he talks about his hood is very, very poetic, and that's what I was like, this kind of sounds like a, I don't know. This is something new, and I liked it a lot, and that's why I think it's noteworthy. So, the second song on the album that I liked was Black Thoughts, and this is noteworthy because K-Dot's in it, and he really fucked this one in the ass. He really did. Like, think about it. What he could have, like, put K-Dot on any verse in this whole album, and that song is automatically the best song on the album. I understand he wants to do it without his prodigy brother here, but think about it. He had him do a chorus, and okay, in this song he's doing a chorus, and it's like kind of auto-tuned. It's kind of like straight out of swimming pools, but not in a good way. It's like even more auto-tuned, up and down, like, and then it's like, it's just like 3 or 4 lines, you know, he's doing the hook basically. And I mean, at the end, he, you know, ScHoolboy takes a political statement like, you know, all lives matter, Black Lives Matter type of thing, and that's cool. And this was the other song that I thought was very poetic on how he wrote it, kind of like stanzas, and they both fit together really well. And I thought he started, I thought the album was really good in that way. So that was another song I liked. I just wish K-Dot would have had a verse on there, because he could have just slayed. You know, he could have slayed. There was a drag in there, and he could have fucking slayed it. He could have slayed it. This is the song I started to realize the two patterns of ScHoolboy Q. All right, so there's this poetic side to ScHoolboy Q where he just, like, he brings you home to mama. That's like literally 5% of the album. The other 95% of this album, no joke, is ScHoolboy talking about how he was gangbanging and how he's not anymore, and how now he's got money, he's got bad bitches, he's got weed. This was the collard greens of the album. It really was. And I'm gonna say it again, he could add K-Dot on the album, but on this song, and it would have been amazing. But instead, he went with Kanye, and cool. Kanye is a genius. So here, you know, let's lay it out. Let's have Kanye just destroy the bait. Let's have Kanye just fuck everyone in the ass. All right, here we go. Kanye, what you got? Guess what? You can't you can't customize like you can at Chipotle. You can't do that with life. And I guess ScHoolboy thought that was something, because he let Kanye say it twice or three times during his verse. Like, literally just recycle shit and talk about, I don't know if he's sponsored by Chipotle. If he is, that would have made me feel a little bit better about the situation. But I was being force-fed this toxic song burrito, and I hated it. I thought ScHoolboy's verse was pretty nice in this song, and the hook is actually pretty catchy. The song as a whole is good. It's probably one of the best on the album. Kanye West. But it kind of encapsulates the whole theme of the album, like, you know, the things I've been talking about, like how he was deep in this gang-banging life, how he made it out, he used to sell drugs, you know, just stuff that was probably really, really tough. And I wish he went into it more. He did in the very few songs that I said were very poetic. He went into that a lot more. But in this one, he kind of just said, like, oh, it was tough. I gotta smoke weed to forget it. I mean, this one, Torch and Black Thoughts are the best on the album for his theme, I'm thinking. By any means, that was the next song I'm gonna talk about. I mean, ScHoolboy kind of went in on this song. I feel like he uncorked his from this little curmudgeon little area that he really just reinforced. Like, I bet like somebody was in the studio going, hey, School, let's get one where you just firecracker, you know, you just get it from all sides and you just fuck the beat, you know. And he's like, nah, man, no, I mean, we'll see how I'm feeling. I just had a piece of roll, and it's in my stomach, and it's like, I don't know, I need some Tums, maybe some ibuprofen for my headache. Then maybe I'll go in. But till then, we're gonna do some more shit, like you know, slow shit, because I can't even catch my breath so half the time. Like, even with the slow shit, you know. It was just kind of, it was a song about grabbing, you know, like by the balls and getting, you know, and gangbanging. You know, you take what's yours, blah blah blah. You don't give a fuck about anyone else. And he does really well about showing me this world, but he doesn't do it in a very creative way ever, I suppose. But he did go in on one of these verses, so that's pretty cool. Next song, Never Change. It had a nice hook. It had a girl doing the hook. It was, you know, it was kind of like a chance hook. It was very nice. It was peaceful to my ears. But then he came back. But this whole song, Never Change, it's the song Changes by Tupac, wrapped in a bunch of salami shit out by a squirrel, and then force-fed to a blind child, and the blind child can't tell the difference until it hits his tongue. But then you realize, wow, this isn't as good as it could be. If I just listened to the original Tupac song, I could have done that. I could have said that so much. Groovy Tony, and this song, alright, since I've been talking like shit the whole album, like literally non-stop, and I'm sorry for that, I'm going to talk about these last two songs in a row. Probably my favorite songs on the album. Alright, let's go. The verse that ScHoolboy Q dropped on this shit it bumped me. You know, it made me bump. I was on an airplane coming back, you know, tired as hell. And when that verse came on, I was seriously into it. Like, it was good. I like that song. It's more about, you know, the theme and stuff. But also, another thing that popped out at me was the a theme I had been missing throughout, which was how ScHoolboy is afraid of the police, and the Black Lives Matter kind of screws into that one. How he's afraid of the police even now, as he was as a gangbanger earlier in his life. He's afraid now also, which is an interesting point. It really is. I never thought about it like that. Like, even though he's a famous rapper and he's gotten out of the hood and all that stuff, he's still afraid of the cops, which just is, I don't know. It was a pretty interesting take. I would never think about that, because I'm not even afraid of the cops now, being a white person, and it sucks, but it's true. And ScHoolboy actually said something that was worth keeping away in my database for later use. Maybe in a conversation about Black Lives Matter, I'll bring up this point still. Like, LeBron James could still be afraid of the police in some way. Not because even, he'll be driving his Kia up the road. He doesn't drive a fucking Kia, by the way. In this dream world, he'll be driving a Kia up the road, and the police will pull him over, and they'll see a black guy. They won't see LeBron James. And it's pretty warped. It was Lord Have Mercy, and it was my favorite song on the album. What he said, the line that he took from the that I liked from the album, the song, was, I guess I'm real like I'm supposed to be. And it's kind of like the idea that he's the song is he's still gangbanging, even though he's rich, okay, and he's a popular rapper now, and he's apologizing to God and asking for mercy because he's living a sinful life, even though he doesn't have to. I think about the Tupac song, and this kind of makes me think of this, where it's like it's Changes, which he probably did an homage to with Never Change, but it's the verse is, I made a G today, but you made it in a sleazy way, selling crack to the kids. I gotta get paid. Well, hey, that's the way it is. And it's the idea that he has to make money for his family. That dude, he has to make money, and the way he does it is by doing something sleazy, doing something sinful. But ScHoolboy does not have to do these things, and he's saying he's still doing them because that's what being real is. Or he has to stay real to his boys. He can't just change and walk off into the sunset without his past, his baggage lingering on, holding on, asking for the fame and success also. And that's a really passionate song, and I liked it a lot. It was very short, but it was good. In my mind, I know I gave it shit the whole way through, but it was just because of the potential to it had. Like, I never listened to a whole album about someone being literally that close to jail all the time, like riding the fence of prison, and then making his life, and then being super, super successful afterwards. It doesn't happen. Usually you go to jail, you go and you waste your potential. But guess what? He didn't, and it was interesting. And he could have really done it in an interesting, a more coherent way than he did. Some of the songs he did, like Black Thoughts and Torch. Also Hookie, Nose Part 2. They were all really good at conveying the ideas he wanted to, like the themes he wanted to throughout, but it didn't just slap you in the face with lyricism. And some of the other songs where he's trailing off, and he's just talking literally about how cool he is or how much weed he smokes. I mean, come on, that part of it pisses me off too. If you how are you going to be fucking remembered if that's all you talk about? That's really annoying. But 4 to 10, it's not, on my scale, it's not horrible. That's like the potential range. That's where 4 to 6 is like you had potential, but you ruined it.